Happy to welcome Dr. Billy Taylor and Dan Chace to the set, and a really good reason for bringing these two gentlemen here. I'm thrilled to have you. I'm very excited about the project that you've both undertaken, and as it is set to debut, this documentary tomorrow, tell people a little bit about Perseverance.
Well, it's my story, you know, based on my book, Get Back Up. I've had a lot of ups and downs in life, you know, and it's all about, it's more than a sports story, Tom. You know, it's really life, you know, the decisions we make, the things we're going to be confronted with, but believing that you can overcome obstacles and persevere. And in fact, that's the title, Perseverance, the story of Dr. Billy Taylor.
I'm going to get right back to you and get an update as to what's happening with your treatment, your facility, where you're helping guys who are
Get back up.
getting better. But Dan, how did you get involved in this project? And it must be a thrill for you, because from what you've told me, you were one of those hundreds of thousands who watched Billy run up and down the field when he played for the Wolverines.
Yeah, this is a dream come true for me. I was a kid in 1968 that came to the stadium with my father, who was a graduate student in those days, and entering Michigan Stadium for the first time was an overwhelmingly, you know, exciting experience. And to have Bo Schembechler starting at that time as coach, and Billy Taylor, who was really the premier running back at that time and became kind of a hero to me, that further developed when he came to my elementary school in 1969 or 70, I think it was, and I got his autograph. So Billy Taylor was a hero of mine in those years.
So here's the update. If you don't know the story of Dr. Billy Taylor, who was obviously a star for the Wolverines, but then life went down the wrong path. He became a drug addict, an alcoholic. He smoked, and it's been 15 years since you've touched any of those.
15 years since I had a drink, drug, or a cigarette. In fact, that's what I do now, is teach men how to live without using drugs and alcohol at Get Back Up. We're located at 12305 Dexter Avenue.
And it's a residential treatment facility, and you've had plenty of fights along the way, a fight that you're still in all the way up to federal court right now, and the hope is that that ruling comes in shortly and your facility remains open.
We're hoping and praying that the federal judge is going to rule in our favor, because I know in my heart we're helping people and our intentions are good. We're not harming anyone. There are a few people, unfortunately, in the community that have been misled about us and what we do, but we don't pose any threat or danger. We're there to change lives and to help people, men, learn how to live without using drugs and alcohol. Because, you know, Tom, I'm an example myself. I have a great relationship with my kids now. But if I had not have changed, if I hadn't gotten back up, first of all, I wouldn't be alive today, but certainly I would be out there doing the wrong things, which many people are. And you can link substance abuse with recidivism rates as far as incarceration and all of that, you know. But what we do makes the community safer and better. You have fewer people on the street using drugs, committing crimes, and these men become taxpayers instead of takers, and they become fathers. You know, children get their dads back, and that's so crucial.
And I'm sure so much of this, Dan, is involved and included in the documentary. You told me you had written off Billy Taylor for almost 40 years. And then you reconnect and you're able to learn more about his story and help tell his story. And I'm sure in speaking with a bunch of different people making this documentary, your eyes were open to things you didn't even know. What did you learn?
Well, I think the nature of making a documentary, most would say, is that a lot of it unfolds as you go along. And for example, we included members of Bill's family. His son Will appears in the documentary and does a fantastic job. And through Will's interviews, you see the effect that an alcoholic father has on his child, and then what a father is like who has recovered from that. And Will really represents that change and the potential for a healthy father-son relationship. So that's one of the things. We also included former Michigan coaches, former Michigan players, staff members at Bill's facility, and we also shot men in recovery with Bill leading a group session. And you can see that he's really qualified to do this kind of work, uniquely qualified. So we're thrilled with the film. It really covers the whole range of Billy's life in an hour, which is a hard thing to do. But covers the football, covers some of his difficult years, and covers what he's doing now.
You know, getting some of a sneak peek of the documentary, to see the facility in action was so refreshing to me, because we had just seen it with the paint going up on the walls, and you really hadn't opened up the doors, but now you're seeing images and scenes of you interacting with the men and the meetings with the men, and it's just rewarding to me, having been there from the beginning, to see you changing these men's lives.
Absolutely, and it's really a wonderful thing, and I encourage everybody to come out and watch this movie. It premieres tomorrow night at the Michigan Theater in Ann Arbor, a 7:30 show and a 9:55 show. But I encourage families to bring their young people, because you know, it's something there for everyone, and every family that I've met has at least one person or more, you know, that has an issue with alcohol or substance abuse, and people, you know, are making wrong choices and getting in trouble. You know, as I tell people, I have not always been Dr. Taylor, not by any means. You know, I feel I have 2 doctorate degrees, Tom, a EDD in educational leadership, and a DOS, that's a doctor of the streets. So, but yeah, this is what I do, and I've been prepared to do this, and I love it every day.
Now, if someone can't make either of the showings on Friday night in Ann Arbor, from what you're telling me, there's also opportunities for them to pick up a DVD copy of the documentary, right?
Absolutely, at perseverancefilm.com, correct?
Well, the MDen is going to be our retailer for the film, for the DVD. So they have an online store, and if people can't make the thing and want to buy a copy of the DVD, that's where they can find it. I should also mention that we have a screening that we just added on Sunday, 2 screenings. One that's going to take place in Grand Rapids at 1:30 p.m. at the Celebration Cinemas North, and then we're doing a 6:30, I believe it's 6:30 in Lansing at the Celebration Cinema in Lansing. So those right now are the only screening events, but of course the Ann Arbor screening tomorrow night is the big deal for us.
Good stuff. I wish you all the best. Thank you a lot for coming in today.
My pleasure.
And I hope it goes over well, and I'm sure it will, because your story is really inspiring.
Thanks,
Thanks
Tom.
a lot.
Thanks so much,
Glad you put it together.